Coming up in this hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, the government shutdown could potentially be close to coming to an end. Scripps News Group's Joe St. George will join us with the very latest on a deal that could put an end to this record-breaking shutdown.
And here's a look at the other stories we're covering in your neighborhood.
Last year, I first told you about a potential public boat ramp right here behind me. I'm Tony Jaramillo in Flower Bluff, asking what's the latest with the project.
Good morning, folks. Happy Monday and welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
Don't you mean bodybuilding second place champion Michelle Hoffman? I'm Brian Hoffman. Very proud husband. As you can tell, we are just back from San Marcos. She took second in that, which is awesome. She did so good.
If they care, they can read it online on Facebook, but let's get to what they really care about,
Yeah, that's right. We got to turn things on over to Mr. Stephen Jones. He's standing by. We'll look at the roadways and later on the weather, because it's chilly this morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Yes, definitely chilly. I mean, first of all, congratulations.
Thank
of course,
you.
And welcome back. Yes. But yeah, definitely chilly out there. Feeling the November morning out there across the coastal bend. It's going to be back and forth as we go through this week. Temperatures coming back up. But of course, first getting a good look at some of the traffic out there this morning. No rain on the board to slow you down out there. So let's get an in-depth look here at the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland this morning. Going to be good and green out the door if you're going to be heading towards Portland. As we look into the Corpus Christi area, that's where we see maybe a little bit more of a slowdown, at least still there on Ocean Drive, still dealing with that minor or medium slowdown, I should say, going pretty slow there on Ocean Drive. But as we look at SPID, Saratoga, and then Crosstown Expressway, all three of those coming in good and green if you're heading out the door that way, as well as Rod Field as well. And as we look over towards Flower Bluff Drive, no major slowdowns to report there, as well as Waldron Road, just the normal one you see. As we get closer to the Naval Air Station, some of those drive times for you this morning, sitting at 21 minutes from downtown to the island, 8 minutes from Portland to downtown, sitting at that 15-minute mark from Cal Island to downtown. So wherever you're coming from and going to, looking pretty good and green to head out the door and kick off your Monday morning.
Stephen, thank you so much for that. We're going to check back in with you in just a little bit. But first, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history could be close to coming to an end, right?
Yeah, that's right. To talk more about this, we bring in our Deputy Political Director, Joe St. George. Hey, good morning, Joe. So the Senate advanced a bipartisan agreement last night. Can you break down the deal for us and how quickly we can expect the government to reopen?
Yeah, we'll get to why it may still be several days if this deal holds for the government to reopen in just a moment. But, guys, I think the expression light at the end of the tunnel might be made for this particular moment. It's certainly light if you're someone who's been relying on SNAP benefits, wondering where that's going, federal workers going without paychecks. If you've been traveling, if you're near an airport in this country over the weekend, you saw thousands and thousands of cancellations and delays. What happened over the weekend? Well, essentially, the magic number, the minimum magic number of Democrats broke with their party and sided with Senate Republicans in a new deal that reopens the government, funds it through the end of January. It also funds some other programs, certain programs like SNAP, even longer, well into 2026. The deal also brings back recently fired federal workers, noteworthy because there were some reductions in force during this longest shutdown in American history. So why are so many Democrats upset this morning? They're upset because there was nothing in this deal involving Affordable Care Act health care subsidies. And remember, Democrats made that a cornerstone of this shutdown fight. It's why Senator Chuck Schumer did not vote for this deal. He leads Democrats in the Senate. It's why House Democrats, when this legislation gets to that chamber, many of them are not expected to back it as well. But again, a number of moderate Democrats felt like the time is now, that the pain of this shutdown was just adding up too significantly for too many Americans. Now to the when. I know when you guys are going to ask me, okay, when could the government reopen? After all, the government's still shut down this morning. Airline headaches still are out there and omnipresent today. The reality is that it may be several days until this could get to President Trump's desk if the deal holds. The Senate still needs to put final passage on this thing. Unless there's an agreement, that could take days. The House needs to come back and vote on that. There's always a chance of turbulence in that chamber, and then the president needs to sign it. So earliest midweek, I wouldn't be surprised if this slips later in the week, but again, light after so many weeks of darkness here on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, we have a flight to catch on Wednesday, so we're going to keep an eye on all the information. Thanks,
Fingers
Joe.
crossed for you, right? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate it. Looking forward to talking again very soon.
Well, 6:06 a.m. Good Monday morning there, Coastal Bend, getting a live look out at our USS Lexington Cam thanks to First Community Bank, sitting at 51 degrees. Those winds out of the north-northeast 15 miles an hour, and you can see a few more cars starting to hit the Harbor Bridge there, and of course the aquarium nice and lit up, putting on a good show as we go through the 6 a.m. hour now. Looking at those current temperatures in your neighborhood, 46 out there in Cotulla, pretty chilly this morning. Same for Beeville, and then 45, the cool spot over in Freer. A little warmer there along the coast at 52 in Port Aransas, 53 over at the Naval Air Station. Off to the southwest, Hebronville coming in at that 50-degree mark, and that's going to be the same for Robstown as well as Ingleside this morning. Looking at the dew points, also enjoying some dry air still in the wake of that cold front. Dew points in the 20s as you work your way inland, 24 there in Beeville, mid-30s as you work your way along the coast, 35 in Port Aransas, 33 over at the Naval Air Station. Here in Corpus Christi coming in around that 29-degree mark, so definitely still that dry air in place. And as we compare ourselves to the nation in terms of some of those chilly temperatures, sitting in 29 degrees there in Amarillo, but the cool spot, Pierre, South Dakota, coming in at 14 degrees, so definitely pretty chilly up there. And as you look over to the southeast, Miami's still coming in at a nice 76 degrees, so most of the nation enjoying this cold front as we go through it. Even Chicago got a lot of snow last night with that cold front that worked through. As we look at the feels like temperatures here for Corpus Christi, going to get to the mid-60s, 65 to 6 degrees there by 3 to 4 p.m. for those feels like temperatures, so you could probably keep the jacket with you all day, not one of those normal Texas days where you need it in the morning, then by the afternoon it's a little too hot. Looking pretty good this afternoon. As we go through the Doppler radar, nice and clear out there. Unfortunately, no precipitation for now, and that's exactly what we see as we go through today and tomorrow. But in terms of the next 10 days, going to be a little bit warm, at least. So if you're chilly going into this morning, going to be a fan of as we go through about the next 7 days or so, going to be above average in those 80s for the most part. By the time we're going towards the 19th, 20th time frame, that's where we see another cold front working into the area. At least that's what model guidance currently has. Still some time to change that, but hopefully we see it strengthen just a little bit, get us below average would be nice again. Maybe see some more 70s and 60s back into the area, just like we're seeing for today. In terms of rain chances, they're not the best, but there is some on the board at least, so there's good news as well. As we go into Friday and Saturday, you can see it gets to that isolated and then widely scattered territory by the time we're going into Saturday night, so not a total washout, but we'll take everything we can get with that 12.25 inches deficit in terms of rain so far for 2025, so hopefully we could start to see some more rain, because also the fire danger for today with all that dry air in place, it's very high to extreme going into the Fulton to Seadrift area. Tomorrow still going to hold on to that high fire danger, and then even into Wednesday, that moderate to high fire danger because of the dry air and then those gusty winds. So if you can, just definitely do your part in preventing any of those wildfires as well. And as we look through the next 6 to 10 days, likely wetter conditions to persist for most of the western United States. As we go into the Lone Star State, I should say, and the Coastal Bend, starts to get a little bit less towards that normal rainfall, but we could still see a little bit more working into the area because November does tend to be one of our drier months here in Corpus Christi. So hopefully we do start to see some more rain working in. Just overall not enough so far that we've seen for 2025. And throughout the next 7 days, that's where we see temperatures slowly come up. The 70s tomorrow, the 80s by Wednesday. Then they're going to hold on to the 80s through the rest of the 7-day forecast, even into the weekend, with overnight lows following the same trend from the 40s to the low 60s, even the upper 60s by the time we're heading into the weekend.
Thank you, Stephen. Coming up on Sunrise, we have a look ahead to this Tuesday City Council meeting where Peter Zinoni is expected to give an update on the city's water supply projects.
Welcome back, folks. So Governor Greg Abbott says he plans to run for re-election. Abbott will seek his 4th term next year. The 67-year-old made his announcement at a golf course in Houston yesterday. He described the state as the heartbeat of America and said the Texas economy was growing twice as fast as the U.S. economy. Now, Abbott has been a staunch supporter of President Donald Trump and has supported his immigration enforcement operations.
So back here in the Coastal Bend, water projects are on the agenda for this week's City Council meeting. It's really important to the South Texas area. So City Manager Peter Zinoni is expected to give an update on community briefings recently held on water supply projects. Nicholas Winkleman, that's the interim COO for the Corpus Christi Water, will also give an update on our current water supply, and that includes a presentation on 3 water supply scenarios. And one would actually push our level 1 water emergency trigger date from November of next year to December of 2027.
When you're driving around town, you've probably seen a lot of car washes. And one of you asked, why are there so many Quick Quack car washes when we're literally in a historic drought? It's a fair question.
Today, there are more than twice as many car washes in the United States as there are McDonald's and Starbucks combined. Now, to understand why there are so many car washes in Corpus Christi, you have to understand America's obsession with cars in general. And since the Model T rolled out in 1908, cars have become our freedom, a status symbol, and the second biggest purchase most people make after a house. And we like to keep our cars nice and shiny. The first mechanical car wash opened in 1914 in Detroit, and the automatic conveyor wash showed up in 1946. Now, fast forward to the 90s, when about half of all car owners in the country wash their cars at home. But now, it's about 80% that go to car washes. Why? Because it's convenient. And that's when private equity jumped in. Automation got cheap, and tax incentives made building them even more profitable. Translation, investors turned car washes into a cash machine.
Express car washes can generate anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million a year. Now, the water part. Washing your car at home can use up to 150 gallons of water or more, but modern car washes like Quick Quack and Go Car Wash use about 50 gallons of water, and most of that water is recycled on site. Now, Quick Quack tells me that they only need about 20 gallons of water per car, and that they reuse up to 99% of that water. What they wouldn't tell me is how many cars go through their car wash every day. Now, we're in a stage 3 drought where automated car washes can legally operate, but we're a year away from a level 1 water emergency. Meanwhile, Quick Quack has 13 locations in town, and they already have plans to build another one.
So who approved of these car washes? Not Corpus Christi Water, but City Development Services.
CCW doesn't even give permits for car washes. They just track water use and enforce drought rules, which, by the way, I asked how much water Quick Quack and Go Car Wash use, and CCW hasn't provided a number yet.
So what happens if we hit a level 1 water emergency? CCW tells me that City Council would have the authority to halt the construction of any new businesses, including a car wash, and that car washes would be treated the same as any other commercial business during a water emergency. So the short answer, car washes exploded nationally because they're profitable, use water more efficiently, and regulations haven't stopped them.
Well, 6:16 a.m. Good Monday morning there, Coastal Bend. Taking a live look out at Snoopy's Pier thanks to Matthew CCAC. 53 degrees, those winds out of the north-northeast, 25 miles an hour. A couple cars hitting the causeway in the water. Looking not too bad either with those winds, just a little bit of chop out there. And as we're starting off the morning, definitely jacket worthy as you're heading out the day, and probably going to be into the afternoon as well. Taking a look back at our Sunday, almost right on the money for those averages, 80 degrees and 59. The average supposed to be 58 and 78, either way short of those records. The first one back from 1991, 34 degrees, and then 1979 for that daytime high record, back at 90 degrees back there in 1979. And of course, plenty of rain needed to make up so far for 2025's rainfall deficit, coming up on that 12¼ inches shy in terms of rainfall. Those temperatures in your neighborhood sitting at 51 here in town, 48 off to the west in San Diego. The cool spot going to be Freer coming in at 45 degrees. Beeville there at 46, 49 over in Hebronville. That's the same for Rockport, and then a little warmer along the coast, 53 there at the Naval Air Station, 52 over in Port Aransas right now. And as we're looking at those winds, a little gustier along the coast, still 14 miles an hour there in Port Aransas, 25 over at the Naval Air Station, 8 miles an hour up in Beeville, a little more calm as you work your way inland, and that's what we're going to see working into the area as we go into the later afternoon and then towards the evening hours. So for today's dog walking forecast, we've got Baby Little here ready to go on their walk. Of course, just waiting to go on their walk, and maybe a little bit chilly out and about there for Baby Little. 54 degrees by 9 a.m., 60 by 11 a.m., only 62 there by that lunch hour, and those winds going to be out of the north. Also a little breezy this morning, around that 15 to 20 mile an hour range, so maybe a good morning to put the booties there on for Baby Little. As we're looking at the forecast highs in your neighborhood, the mid to upper 60s as you work your way inland and a little bit further south. As you work your way north, more of those lower 60s, even along the coast too. 63 degrees there in Port Aransas and the Naval Air Station, 64 off to the north in Beeville for that forecast high. So like I said, looking like you could probably keep the jacket on as we go through our Monday. And as we're looking at the Doppler radar, nice clear skies out there. that's exactly what we're going to see throughout our Monday. So nice day for outside plans, but unfortunately we could definitely use the rain working into the area. As you see on the future tracker, that's exactly what we're going to see is plenty of blue skies across the area on our Monday. So likely to see the rainfall deficit increase a little bit as we go through today. So hopefully as we go into that Saturday time frame, that's where we see more moisture working into the area and also that next chance of rain. You can see that here on our muggy meter where we go to the 60s by the time we're heading into Thursday, even the 70s there by the time we're heading into Saturday. And that's just the moisture we're going to need, but the lift we need as well with that weak cold front that works in. That could stir up some rain into the area on the radar and hopefully put a dent in that deficit in terms of rainfall. And that's exactly what we're seeing on the 6 to 10 day outlook. Most of the country going to be dealing with those likely wetter conditions, including us here in the Lone Star State and the coastal bend. But unfortunately, really the only rain chance for right now is going to be that Saturday night time frame. Doesn't really show up on the board too well. But you can see those temperatures slowly warming up through the 80s into the weekend with overnight lows following that same trend from the 40s to the lower 60s and then the upper 60s by the time we're heading into this weekend.
Still ahead on Sunrise, it is a Monday, a brand new week filled with opportunities. Let's make sure that your gas tank is filled up as well. I'll have the cheapest prices all around the coastal bend when we come back. Welcome back, folks. It is Monday Fun Day. Let's make sure that your gas tank is filled up and ready for anything this week with the cheapest prices around the coastal bend. And look at the national prices. So a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to this week. I'll show you how. When it comes to national prices, we are actually up. It's $3.04 right now. We're not able to sustain that under $3 mark. It's up by 6 cents since last week. As for the Texas average, also up. This one's up by 9 cents since last week at $2.57. Here is the good side, though. Here in Corpus Christi, we are seeing prices still on the decline. Cheapest price I was able to find is $2.34 at the 7-Eleven on Saratoga. As for Portland, friends, your cheapest price is $2.35 over at the H-E-B. Looking pretty nice there. Might be worth a drive. And for our island friends, you're going to be impressed. This is a drop by about 20 cents since last week, $2.41 at most of the stations I was able to find, including the stations in Port A. There is one exception, though. That's the Valero on the corner of Park Road 22 and 361 on the way to Port A. So watch out for that one. As always, if you can find cheaper prices than these guys, might be worthwhile stopping and filling up while you can. And I'll have all of these prices posted on our website. That's christv.com.
Well, 6:24 a.m. taking a live look out at our USS Lexington cam, brought to us by First Community Bank. You can see the sun rising now, and of course the new Harbor Bridge in view. Just a few cars starting to hit the roads there, and the aquarium still nice and lit up as well, but no rain to be slowing you down on the way right now. As we get a good look at some of the roadways around Corpus Christi, let's take an in-depth look here at the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland this morning. Going to be good and green if you're heading over that way. Into Corpus Christi, look, a couple of slowdowns there on Ocean Drive to be mindful of, as well as Ennis Jocelyn there near Ocean Drive, but SPID, Saratoga, and Crosstown Expressway, all three looking pretty good and green this morning. Over towards the Flower Bluff area, Flower Bluff Drive looking good, as well as Waldron Road there, just the normal minor slowdown you get as you work towards the gates there at the Naval Air Station. And as we go look at some of the drive times around the area this morning, not looking too bad either out the door. 21 minutes is what you could expect from downtown to the island, 8 minutes from Portland to downtown. Looking from Cow Island to downtown around that 15-minute mark. So wherever you're coming from and wherever you're going to, going to be good and green to head out the door and then kick off your Monday morning.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Well, good Monday morning there, Coastal Bend, taking a live look out at Snoopy's Skycam. Thanks to Matthews CCAC, sitting at 52 degrees, a few cars starting to hit the causeway there, and of course, the nice sunrise coming up now with that time change we had over a week ago. And as we're looking out there, just not too bad as we're kicking off our Monday morning. No clouds in sight on the Skycam there, and really just chilly. Might want to bring the jacket with you as you head out the door. And that was the same for yesterday too, really. We saw a little bit of a chill there as we saw that cold front working into the area. Only got up to about 80 degrees. We were pretty much right on the money in terms of those morning lows and daytime highs for 59 and 80. The average is supposed to be 58 and then 78. Either way, short of those records. That was 34 back from 1991 and then 90 degrees back from 1979. And yes, we know we need a lot of rainfall to make up for the 2025 deficit so far. We're around that 12¼ inches shy mark for 2025 so far. Over the past 10 hours, a decent steady cool down. 67 degrees at 8 p.m. last night, 57 there by 1 a.m. down to about 51 now at 6 a.m. And we'll see if we we could see any 40s here in Corpus Christi. There are still a couple 40s on the board in our neighborhoods. 45 out there in Freer is the cool spot this morning. 46 in Mathis as well as Beeville and Cotulla, also feeling the chill in the air. And then 53 there at the Naval Air Station, 52 in Port Aransas. Just a little bit warmer, but I think all of us definitely worthy of bringing a jacket out the door today. And as we look out there at the 24-hour temperature, changed quite a bit cooler than what we saw yesterday morning, about 15 to even 25 degrees cooler up there in Cotulla this morning. So like I said, all of us definitely feeling a little bit of that chill in the air in the wake of the cold front. Looking at the winds out there, a little breezier along the coast, 17 miles an hour in Port Aransas, 25 over at the Naval Air Station, 8 up there in Beeville, and then over in Freer about 7 miles an hour. We're going to see that more 5 to 15 mile an hour range making its way back into the coastal bend, especially here in Corpus Christi as we go into the evening and then the overnight hours. Looking at your dog walking forecast, today we've got Baby Little here, and he's just waiting to go on his walk, and maybe just a little bit chilly there for Baby Little. Looking at those temperatures, 54 degrees by 9 a.m., 60 by 11 a.m. By that lunch hour, looking at 62 degrees with those winds a little breezy out of the north, 15 to about 25 miles an hour at times. So maybe not a bad idea to have some booties on for Baby Little as well as we go through our Monday. Looking at your forecast highs in your neighborhood, a little cooler along the coast at that 63 degree mark for Aransas Pass, Port Aransas, and the Naval Air Station. About 66 to 7 degrees here in Corpus Christi, 64 the forecast high up there in George West as well as Beeville as we go through our Monday. Whenever we're looking at the Doppler radar, nice clear skies, but we do want some rain back into the area. Unfortunately, the future tracker for our Monday and Tuesday really just looking nice and quiet out there. So if you have any outdoor activities to go take part in, of course, looking great for those. Maybe just a little bit chilly, the jacket worthy, of course, but we definitely could use some rain. We talked about that deficit, about 12¼ inches shy so far for 2025. And whenever we're looking at the rain chances, there are some on the board as we go and see more moisture working into the area. Here's a good look at that muggy meter. You can see the 60s making their return by Wednesday into Thursday. And then as we go into Saturday and see those 70s on the dew points return for the area, that's where we start to see some more rain working back into the area with the lift that also is associated with a weak cold front that works into the coastal bend. As we look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, that's where it's really reflected. Likely wetter conditions going to persist for most of the western United States. That's going to go into Texas as well. As we work into the coastal bend, it gets a little closer to that normal precipitation, and November does tend to be one of our drier months. So hopefully we start to see just a little bit more rain, and hopefully we see these likely wetter conditions make their way really into the area. So like I said, that main rain chance is going to be about Saturday night. Temperature-wise, we are on that slow warm-up from the 60s to the 80s by the time we're going into the weekend. Overnight lows even going to those upper 60s by the time we're heading into this weekend.
Welcome back, folks. A little over a week ago, Jose Lopez was at his store when he got a call from a neighbor saying the home he owned for 13 years was on fire. Neighborhood News reporter Jada Jenkins shows us how neighbors and a local business owner are helping him rebuild his life.
By the time Jose Lopez got the call, it was too late.
He started burning the whole house, the fire coming out through this window and through that door.
The flames took everything his family built over the last 13 years.
We didn't have much, but we had something that we could come home and rest, and find some peace, but now there's no home.
He walks me through what's left: ashes, charred walls, and memories.
This was one of my son's room.
Jose owns Chico's Candy Apples. His kitchen was his livelihood.
It's all burned. The kitchen is all burnt.
Now he's working out of a church kitchen, trying to keep his business alive. But he's not doing it alone.
Being through it and just actually knowing how it feels to lose.
Drew Munoz owns Candy Andy. 3 months ago, I told you about a fire that destroyed his food truck. The community stepped in to help. Now, Drew wants to pay it forward. He's the one who started a GoFundMe for Jose.
We sat there together and created the whole account here at Candy Andy. And
2 men, each hit by fire, now lifting each other back up. And for Jose, it's his faith that keeps him moving forward.
All this happened for a reason, and I know that God wants me to think big.
Both men tell me helping each other when times get hard is what being a neighbor is all about. Jose says customers have been ordering his candy apples to support his recovery. And as for Drew, his new food truck is expected to open next week with a new look and a bigger menu. In Corpus Christi, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jada Jenkins, KRIS 6 News.
Well, good Monday morning there, Coastal Bend, 6:35 a.m. Taking a live look out at the USS Lexington, Cam. Thanks to First Community Bank, you can see 51 degrees and those winds out of the north-northeast, 15 miles an hour. Definitely want to bring the jacket with you as you're heading out the door today. And you can see a few cars picking up there on the Skycam there, as well as on the Harbor Bridge. And as we look in your neighborhood, still a couple chilly spots. 46 degrees out in Beeville right now this morning, 49 over there in Rockport, the same over in Hebronville. Over at the Naval Air Station, coming in at 53 degrees, going to be that warm spot. And most of us dealing with some pretty breezy winds, around 10 to even 25 miles an hour out of the north-northeast. Of course, those visibilities looking pretty good out the door because those dew points are so dry. Looking at the 20s as you work your way inland, 24 there in Beeville, 26 over in Hebronville, the mid-30s as you work your way along the coast. But it's definitely dry air still in place. That's going to lead to a little bit of elevated fire danger as we go into today and through that Wednesday time frame. Really, in terms of our daytime high, not looking too bad at all, though only pushing that 66 to 67 degree mark by 3 to 4 p.m. So as we go into it, you could still probably keep the jacket with you, not one of those Texas days where you need to throw it away into the afternoon. Unfortunately, the rain chances as we look at today with those dew points really just going to be riding the bottom of the board, going to remain in that unlikely territory. Of course, we might have some more on the way. I'll go over that in the full forecast and that full 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
Now, 20 minutes of non-stop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, we have plenty of neighborhood news for you, as always. But first, we have to check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones. He has a look at your traffic before you head out the door. Good morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. Definitely feeling the chill in the air in those 50s, but luckily, like you see, not too bad on the board. Looking like a lot of green out there this morning, so looking pretty nice as we're starting off our Monday, right? And here's a live look out there at the SPID Skycam, 6:40 a.m. You can see a few more cars starting to hit the roadway there, but still not looking too bad for the most part. Maybe as we head towards 7 to 8 a.m., still seeing some more on the roadways, but let's get a good in-depth look here at some of the traffic around our area. Here at the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland this morning, going to be good and green out the door if you're heading that way. As we work into Corpus Christi, some of our major roadways, Ocean Drive looking good, a minor slowdown there on Ennis Jocelyn, as well as Saratoga looking like a couple minor slowdowns. But as we look at SPID and Crosstown Expressway, they're both looking good here in Corpus Christi. Over towards Flower Bluff Drive and Waldron Road, both looking good and green out the door. Just the minor slowdown you see closer to the gates there at the Naval Air Station, but really not too bad as you're heading out the door. And some of those drive times for you, sitting at 22 minutes from downtown to the island, 8 minutes from Portland to downtown, Cal Allen to downtown, sitting around that 15-minute mark. So wherever you're coming from and going to, going to be good and green to head out the door.
Stephen, thank you so much. So back in September, the Corpus Christi City Council said no to a $1.2 billion desal plant, leaving residents with questions about the future water supply here in the Coastal Bend. So on Friday, City Manager Peter Zanoni told Chris 6 News that he has secured an agreement to potentially save desal. Zanoni told us that he met with Corpus Christi desal partners that were the city's second choice behind Kiewit in the Inner Harbor desal project. The partnership is made up of 4 local, national, and international companies. They'll be developing new proposals with a price tag for the design and construction of the desal project that would be in the same location as the failed Kiewit proposal.
And so it's a little bit different than the first way we did it, which is we wanted the desal plant and we got a price. This one would say, here's a price, and with that price you can get this. And the firm or the team will develop several options for council to consider, a low, mid, and high price scenario, as an example.
Zanoni also said that if the desal project ends up moving forward, the city would also look into hiring an experienced desal operator to run the facility instead of the city. He plans to present this to council on the 18th of November.
So how this new desal came about and who knew what when has muddied the waters a bit. After we wrapped up our interview with the city manager, we got a statement from the mayor. In it, she says, in part, quote, "As mayor, I have issued a call to action and placed the Inner Harbor desalination project on the city council agenda for November 18th. The mayor went on to say the city manager is simply following her directive and says we must all work to serve the people of Corpus Christi because they deserve water solutions today. But this is what the city manager said during our interview.
And so we know that there were 3 firms that applied in the initial request for proposal process. The second firm that is known as Corpus Christi Desal Partners I've been working with over the past several weeks, independent of council, behind the scenes.
Later on Friday, we received a news release from the city that included another statement from Peter Zanoni. In the statement, he says, "I have worked for several weeks on this initiative with input from the mayor and council." For his full interview, head on over to our website, christv.com.
A lot of questions on the time frame of that one. So we have plenty of neighborhood news to get to this morning, folks, from an update on a public boat ramp in Flower Bluff to cosmetology school in Alice. We've got you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter in Flower Bluff. I was here in October of 2024 telling you about a push for a new public boat ramp at the Philip Dimmitt Pier. That ramp was part of a bond proposal that passed, and so has 1 year. So I'm asking, when will that ramp get built? That bond proposal included $1 million only for the design of a public ramp on the city-owned property. Ruben Rodriguez is a general manager for Fat Cat Boats in Flower Bluff. I stopped by to get his thoughts on the proposed ramp at the Philip Dimmitt Pier. The pier is about 3 miles from the store's location.
It helps alleviate some of the boat congestion we have now. You know, there's not very many public boat ramps that the average Joe can go to.
Rodriguez says right now you have to drive over the JFK Causeway to get to a public ramp. And with the boat in tow, that's not always an ideal drive. But Rodriguez says that doesn't mean he's anchored to the idea that this project will work as it's currently presented. He believes the road to this proposed ramp, Jester Street, is very narrow and believes there are better alternatives. In a statement, the city says they were not able to provide any relevant updates about the project. However, they tell me that engineering has recommended that Jester Street be widened. City officials say that design only includes the ramp itself, not any road infrastructure. In Flower Bluff, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
I'm Alyssa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Alice. Since the 70s, Alice high school students have been preparing for the cosmetology industry. It's thanks to a program you could say is a cut above the rest. Ali Science has been part of the program for 4 years, learning everything from infection control, chemical safety to client relations and professionalism. Ali is about 6 months away from high school graduation, but she's already a fully licensed cosmetologist. Cosmetology instructors say in the last 2 years, they've seen their students go straight into the workplace. Some have gone on to take additional classes at local community colleges to get additional experience.
Well, good Monday morning, 6:46 a.m. Taking a live look out at Snoopy's Pier thanks to Matthews CCAC. 53 degrees, winds out of the north-northeast about 25 miles an hour, and just a beautiful sunrise as well. The water just got a little bit of chop on it with that, with the winds as well as we're seeing out there. Taking a look back at our Sunday, almost right on the money with those averages. Came in at 59 and 80. The average is 58 and 78. Either way, short of those records. That was 34 back from 1991, then 90 degrees back from 1979, and plenty of rainfall needed so far to make up for the 2025 deficit. We're seeing about 12 1/4 inches, so hopefully we start to see some more rain as we work into the back half of November and then even to December as well. Over the past 10 hours, a decent cool down from 67 at 8 p.m. last night, 60 there by midnight, 51 as we went into that 6 a.m. hour, and we'll see. I think we're not going to be seeing any more 40s here into Corpus Christi, it looks like, but still a couple 40s on the board. 45 over there in Freer, as well as Cotulla and Beeville going to be the cool spots this morning. Even Robstown coming in around that 45-degree mark. Along the coast, a little warmer, 51 for Port Aransas, 53 over there at the Naval Air Station. And then as we look over towards Hebronville, coming in at that 48-degree mark. So definitely feeling the chill in the air. And compared to yesterday, definitely also pretty cool. It's looking 19 degrees cooler there in Beeville, 25 degrees cooler there in Cotulla compared to this time yesterday. All of us about 20 degrees cooler really than where we were yesterday. So gonna enjoy the cool temperatures for now, but gonna warm up as we go into Wednesday and then throughout the rest of the week as well. Those current winds still a little gustier along the coast, 25 miles an hour over at the Naval Air Station, 18 miles an hour there in Port Aransas. A little quieter as you work your way inland, 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the north-northeast. We're going to see that 5 to 15 mile an hour range as we work into the evening and then overnight hours here around the entire coastal bend. For today's dog walking forecast, today we've got Baby Little here and ready to go on their walk, just waiting around for it, of course, and maybe a little bit chilly out there for Baby Little this morning. 55 degrees by 9 a.m., 60 by 11 a.m., 62 by that lunch hour. So if you're taking Baby Little out early, maybe not a bad idea to to put on the booties as well as we go out there. Looking at the forecast, highs pretty cool out there for our Monday for all of us. 63 along the coast from Port Aransas to the Naval Air Station, 67 here in town as well as Kingsville, 64 the mark that we're looking for up in George West as well as Beeville. But either way, all of us getting to those low to mid 60s and just feeling a nice Monday, November day across the coastal bend. The current Doppler radar nice and clear, and that's exactly what we're going to see throughout our Monday. Plenty of clear skies, so if you have anything that's taking you outside, it's looking great for that, but we sure could use the rain working its way back into the region. Just for right now on the future tracker, not looking too likely through these next couple of days, but as we look at the Muggy meter and go into Saturday, that's where you could see a pretty good resurgence in some of that moisture. Dew points entering the 70s again by the time we're entering that Saturday time frame, and then as we see a little bit of lift make its way back into the area, that's where we could see a little bit of rain stirring up across on the radar across the coastal bend for the area. Just hopefully it adds up in terms of rain totals to a pretty good measurable amount. Unfortunately for right now, still dealing with some extreme to very high fire danger across the coastal bend, especially from Fulton into Seadrift. So something you want to be mindful of. Just want to do your part in preventing any of those wildfires as we go through about the next couple of days. And taking a good look at that 7-day forecast, you could see we're going to start off pretty cool, but then we warm up as we go into tomorrow. 77 degrees, 83 there by Wednesday, and then we're really going to hold on to the 80s pretty good as we go through the weekend. Even into the weekend, those overnight lows follow a similar trend from 47 tonight, then into the 60s, and even potentially that 70-degree mark by the time we're heading into Friday night.
If you purchase a car and you no longer need it, well, you always have the option to sell it. But ending a lease early can be very costly, even if you can no longer drive.
Tim Meeks struggles to get in his SUV. Even buckling up is tough. You see, this local guitarist was recently diagnosed with ALS.
Started with the right arm, was incredibly weak, and my fingers didn't work like they were supposed to.
While he had to quit playing music, he can't quit his car lease.
There's nothing in that contract that says you can get out of this lease.
No.
The lender told him he's obligated to pay even if he can't drive.
I'm actually dying.
The few exceptions for breaking a lease are typically reserved for military members and sometimes people forced to move for work. Experts say the termination fee alone can cost as much as the remaining payments on your lease.
Usually, if you do need to get out of the lease, you're going to lose money. It gets expensive.
One option is talking with your dealer about renegotiating the terms of your contract, according to NerdWallet's Kimberly Palmer.
In some cases, they can offer you a less expensive vehicle to lease.
David Underkoffler of Car Gurus also recommends a lease transfer or swap.
A lease swap gives somebody else the opportunity to get into your lease at the, usually the same terms.
Lease transfer companies include Swap-A-Lease and Lease Trader. Transferring a lease isn't free, but once someone else takes over, you can walk away.
You do want to make sure you're using a legitimate company, a legitimate website to help facilitate that lease.
We contacted Tim Meeks' lender, which is now reviewing his case, but currently for now, he has to continue making payments.
It's very disheartening.
On a car he may soon no longer be able to drive. As always, don't waste your money. John Mattery, Scripps News Group.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The federal government shutdown is closer than ever to possibly coming to an end. On Sunday night, the Senate advanced a bipartisan agreement to fund the government through the end of January. It was a 60-40 vote. 8 Democrats voted with Republicans on the measure to end the shutdown. A part of the agreement reportedly includes a promise of a later vote in December on extending health care subsidies. The deal also includes assurance that food stamps would be funded through fiscal year 2026. For the moment, however, the shutdown continues. If the legislation passes both chambers, it would then go to President Trump's desk for his signature.
New tariffs are set to go into effect on China today. The change comes after President Trump met with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Trump agreed to cut his 20% tariff increase to 10%. In exchange for lowering U.S. tariffs, Beijing will help stop the flow of fentanyl overseas and its export controls on rare earth materials and other critical minerals, and buy American soybeans, among other things. China will also reduce its taxes on American goods as part of this tariff truce. Other tariff increases remain in place, but the two sides say they will continue to negotiate trade.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is now directing states not to issue full SNAP benefits this month. On Friday, the department said it would begin fully funding SNAP benefits. According to a memo sent out late Saturday, the USDA told state SNAP agencies to immediately undo steps taken to issue full food stamp payments, calling them unauthorized. It also warned that failure to comply could result in the USDA canceling the federal share of administration costs or holding states financially liable for, quote, any overissuances that result from the non-compliance, end quote.
Governor Greg Abbott says he plans to run for re-election. Abbott will seek his fourth term next year. The 67-year-old made his announcement at a golf course in Houston on Sunday, and he described the state as the heartbeat of America and said the Texas economy was growing twice as fast as the U.S. economy. Abbott has been a staunch supporter of President Donald Trump and has supported his immigration enforcement operations.
Today marks an important date in military history. On November 10th, 1775, John Adams drafted a resolution that created what was then known as the Continental Marines. That date is now observed as the birth date of the U.S. Marine Corps. The U.S. Mint has unveiled a special commemorative coin to honor the rich history of the Marines. Currently, there are more than 200,000 active duty and reserve Marines serving in the United States.
Corpus Christi Animal Care Services is hosting their Fall in Love adoption event. So for the entire month of November, adoption fees will be waived. Adoptions include microchips, spay, neuter, and age-appropriate vaccines. And you can stop by and find your new friend Monday through Friday from noon to 5:30 p.m.
On to what is trending now, folks, and this one I'm excited about. So Taco Bell is offering up a unique collaboration for the holidays. The fast food chain is rolling out the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie. It's a key lime style pie that gets an infusion of the chain's fan favorite soda. Taco Bell says that the unique treat fits well with Friendsgiving, where it says anything traditional gets a creative twist. The chain says the pie is available a limited time only in stores and sold only as a whole pie for $19.99.
I know. Bad.
I just bought the Oreo one, but I'm more excited about this one. Baja Blast was always like one of my all-time favorites, and key lime pie also one of my favorites. So this is a no-brainer. We got to get this in the Hoffman household.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think? Should I bring in a slice for you too?
I think it's worth a try. I think this one seems like it could work. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It might not, but I think it's definitely worth a try. I mean, maybe a little bit more than the mac and cheese, personally. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the pie could. I think that could work pretty well, especially for Friendsgiving, like they said. I mean, yeah, Baja Blast is just tough to beat. Baja Blast. Did y'all ever try making your own Baja Blast? Did you ever see any of that?
No.
Yeah, you take like Sprite and like Blue Powerade or something. I forgot what else, but you can kind of make your own knockoff.
Really?
Baja Blast
Hey,
if
the
you-
more you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try that out.
But that was important before they put it in stores year round. Anyways, yeah, I was really happy when they did
It's kind of
that.
chilly for a Baja Blast
I'll
day,
leave
Yeah,
right?
it
it
out there
is.
this morning. We're in the 50s out there as you're stepping out the door, so definitely jacket worthy as we're looking at our Monday morning, feeling like November out there. But as we go through the rest of the week, gonna start to warm up. Here's a live look out at our USS Lexington cam brought to us by First Community Bank. Yes, we did shave off a couple more degrees. 49 degrees so far is what we're down to here in Corpus Christi. Those winds also out of the north-northeast about 21 miles an hour, and the Harbor Bridge in view. Just a couple cars hitting the roadway as well, with a beautiful sunrise going on as well. Looking at that almanac data from yesterday, almost right on the money with the averages. We're supposed to be around 58 and 78. We came in at 59 and 80 degrees. Either way, short of those records back from 1991 at 34 degrees, and then 90 degrees back in 1979, and 12 and a quarter inches rain needed to make up for the 2025 deficit so far. So hopefully we start to see some more rain working into the area. Over the past 10 hours, a decent cool down from 66 degrees at 8 p.m. last night, 56 there by 1 a.m., down to about that 49 degree mark now is where we're sitting, around 50 degrees roughly here in that Corpus Christi area, but definitely some 40s still on the board. 45 there in Robstown, as well as Freer and Cotulla, going to be some of the cooler spots, except Beeville coming in, just beating them out by 1 degree. 44 degrees out there this morning, 53 there at the Naval Air Station, 48 over in Hebronville. So definitely still feeling some chill in the air. And as we go through that 7-day forecast, that's where we start to warm up just a little bit, going from the 60s to the 80s by Wednesday, holding on to those 80s into the weekend with overnight lows in the 60s. So not too bad. Just got to get through the start of the week chill, I should say.
Yeah, that makes sense. So bring a sweater for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely bundled up. Well, hey, thank you so much for spending part of your morning with us, folks. Hope you have a great week ahead. Go out and seize all those opportunities, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
Have a good one.